Hi, Neva's here. I'm just going to go over some ground rules for understanding how to study for your Cambridge English exam later on this year. We're doing the exam preparation mostly online. So we've got 3 groups at the moment that will be studying online: PET B1 and First Certificate English B2. Let's have a look at some of the ideas that I've prepared for you in this presentation. First of all, we need to remember that most of the exam preparation that we are doing will be online. We started out at school, but things changed and now we've gone fully online, and we don't have that many lessons, but we are going to be using the classroom, the Google Classroom set up by our school. So all the material you really will need will be there, and you have your own books. So let's get started and have a look at how we can make that study at home so much easier. Some of the things that you need to know. Let's understand a little bit about online learning. This is probably new to most of you. Most of my students I know haven't done very much online learning up until now. So let's have a look at these things that I think are important. First of all, you need to check your email regularly, because there could be a notification coming up only on your email that may be turned off on your desktop. Check the calendar if you're not using the Google Calendar just yet. We do have a GSuite, so please check the calendar, because at a glance you will be able to see if there is any clashing going on between your events in the calendar. I know you won't be going anywhere, but you do have other teachers that are sending you invites to participate in live lessons or other activities. Go regularly and have a look in the Google Classroom. This will probably only take 5 minutes of your time, and if there's any update on the exam by the exam centre that you're booked with, they will obviously notify you by email as well. So just make sure that you're checking the email that you gave to the online exam. Read, if you haven't done this, I think it's really important that you read the Cambridge Handbook. I've given you the links to the PET directly to the PET and the First Certificate. So all you need to do is go to the classroom, click on the link that will take you to the Cambridge website. You can either read it online or download it for your own purposes. Then you have the exam books, and most of the exam information you already have in your textbooks that we use at school during our daily lessons. So please refer to those activities, any tips that are in the book, apart from what we'll be doing in the classroom. And most importantly, if you can't find something, if you get lost within anything that we're doing, please ask in the Google Classroom below the area where perhaps you're looking for something and can't find it. So if I don't get to answer it, someone else will. If you need any help in anything, reach out. And if you don't understand something that you're meant to be doing, again, just ask. Asking doesn't hurt. And if you happen to know something when you see someone else asking, then go ahead and answer. That is called sharing if you know something, so do that. That's caring about your fellow students. And show up to a live lesson. Now, what I mean by that is I know that you're probably doing on some days 5 hours of live lessons in the morning. So I think that after lunch, showing up for another 2 hours of live lessons, which is only once a week or once a fortnight, we don't have that many lessons. I think it's just important that you show up and let me know what you're doing, and if you have any questions. then if you're not part of the speaking team that's going to be tested in that first hour, for example, then you're more than welcome to go offline, continue working asynchronously, and then click back in to the live meet, which is always open for the 2 hours while the lesson is in program. Also, showing up to the live lesson at the start normally means that you'll hear anything that's new that's happening, and the speaking groups for that afternoon. So let's get going to the next slide and have a look at how we should be studying. So in the next few slides, I'm just going to give you some points on how to study and your well-being while you're studying at home. This is really important. I've had a few students that have discussed this with me. That's why I thought it was important that we just face this now before it goes any further. The first thing you need to do is you need to set some time aside to study. It could be 1 hour a day. It could even be half an hour a day. If you only want to devote half an hour a day to studying for your exam, that can be fine as well, because I know you're doing a lot of other things at home as well. So, or maybe you don't want to do half an hour a day. You may want to do 1 hour every second day. That's fine as well. Whatever you decide, set up a routine to study. I've written choosing at least 1 hour a day. That's how I feel that it's important. But as I said, that's really up to you. Now, this is a great quote that I like. Never regard study as a duty, but as the enviable opportunity to learn. That was Albert Einstein, and I always find that quotes help me just devote a little bit more time, extra time to study, because I study too all the time, no matter my age or my teaching position. Time management. This is important. I can never stress how important this is, and I know that in all my career, if I don't set up and organize my time, I will never get anything done. So first of all, you need to set up a quiet place to study, and that is really important. You need to be in a comfortable position, comfortable chair, have everything around you, have your water bottle close by, and you need to take breaks between each activity. So these are things that are most important in time management, not just setting up 10 minutes for this, 5 minutes for that, but actually the whole package put together. Secondly, set time aside to relax. You need to take a break, but a break from everything. And I know that you may want to take longer breaks than you need to take, but just make a conscious effort to sort of get up, shake your legs a bit, walk around the room, go into the other room and talk with someone if that's important. Go outside if you can. Those are the things that you need to do to set up time to relax. Let's have a look at some ideas that I've put there for your well-being and how you can relax. So one of the ways that you can relax is to take time away from study and actually devote it to something that you like doing, like a hobby. And if you can't think of what to do and you want to do something because you're getting into that rut, maybe that study rut where just all of a sudden you just feel so like I can't do this anymore, then maybe just take a really and you don't know what to do because you don't have a hobby, or maybe your hobby includes something that you can't do within the confines of your home, then go and do something strange like bake a cake. Now, baking a cake may seem silly, but it actually helps you to relax because you're so concentrated on getting the ingredients, measuring the ingredients, and then watching it rise and, while it's cooking, and then maybe sitting down, having a cup of tea and eating that cake that you made. It really does a lot for self-esteem. I don't make cakes, but I know a lot. I know some students that have told me that really is relaxing. You can call a friend, meditate, write a letter, whatever makes you, just make it as a big break from study. Another important aspect is being active, and that could be anything like just taking a brisk walk outside for half an hour twice a day, if that's possible. Get your muscles moving, standing up from the chair, maybe doing some of those activities where you bend over, you lift your legs up, swing your arms, anything to feel that you're giving yourself a good shake and keeping that muscle tone happening, which is really important after sitting down for so many hours a day. So the things that are important to avoid are too much screen time. Now, I know some of you are probably saying that doing 5 hours in the morning and then having to do 2 hours in the afternoon, or the other problem is not just doing my 2 hours in the afternoon, which is a problem or can be seen as a problem. The thing is that most of you are doing online activities for all your classes, which means that you are, however, going to be in front of a screen not only 5 hours in the morning listening to your teachers, but maybe another 3 or 4 hours every afternoon in front of a computer, on your tablet or on your phones. Working on your phones is terribly hard, and working on your tablets is probably hard as well. The computer is a lot easier, but that amounts to nearly 8 hours a day in front of a screen, and that can be very demanding on your physical and mental state. So try and talk to your teachers if you're doing too much screen time. As I said in my classes, you're more than welcome to come in for 10 minutes, leave, and then come back when it's your turn to do the speaking trial, and come back in and ask me a question, etc. I'll be available for the 2 hours online, but you don't have to be. Don't overdo things. Overdo things means that if I give you one essay to do or 2 essays to do, don't do 6. It's not going to help you learn from your mistakes. So if I say do one essay, do one essay so I can correct it. You can see your mistake and then learn from it and do better at the next essay, rather than give me 5 or 6 essays all at once without waiting for the correction. I normally correct every day, so you won't be waiting that long for correcting. Don't cram. Cram means doing things. This is slang. I know I'm using some slang, but slang, as we told you in another occasion, that is part of being authentic. That's the authentic language learning, which is part of understanding the culture of the English speakers. So don't cram. Cram means don't do everything the last minute. Don't wait to do it all like the hour before you join my lesson or anyone else's lesson for that matter online, because you need to be relaxed and you need to be able to do things. And when you're relaxed, you actually learn better. If you're rushed, stressed, and anxious, you just don't learn, trust me. You need to enjoy learning. And when you enjoy learning, learning actually becomes easier. It really does. I can't stress this enough. I know I've told you a million times, but that's just the way it is. Clamming up. Clamming up means not talking about any problem that you have. Now, I don't want to come in and know all your family problems or personal hassles, but don't clam up if you're feeling stressed and if you're feeling overworked and pressed. Do reach out, because we are here to help you. You are important to us more than you know. We are working here to make your life easier, not harder. So do reach out. This is the third and last point, setting up a reflective practice. So sitting back and reflecting on what we've done is really important to understand how we've dealt with the situation of learning always. Let's have a look at how we can reflect on our week. I normally say that in this period, it's quite probably easier to do a 10-minute reflective practice, like on Saturday maybe, and just sit down and think, what have I done? You don't have to write it down. I find it easier to write it down in a book. I just have like an exercise book, and I just write down the date, the time, and then just list what I did do, some comments near it. Okay, so when you reflect on your week, you want to reflect on your study, how you organized it, how you created the space, how you set up your timetable, and how you were able to divide the things you had to do, and how you overcame some of the obstacles that you may have found, and how you avoided maybe doing things last minute. Well-being, reflect on your well-being as well. Make a note. Did I drink enough water? Did I eat well? Did I sleep enough? Did I meditate a little bit? Did I take that time out that I really need for me? Socialize. Now, I need to make sure that I'm socializing, keeping in touch with my friends, that I'm talking and discussing, that I'm not stewing. Stewing means, thinking things by myself and getting anxious over them. So I don't want to be doing that. I want to reach out and ask for help if at any stage I feel that I need it. So these are the things that you need to reflect on your week. And as I was saying, I like to write it down in just a book. But I like to write by hand when it comes to reflective practice on a personal level, because it helps me to unwind. You may want to write it on a Google Doc or a Google Slides, whatever. You can do that. Whatever makes you take that time to just sort of reflect about how the week went. And that's it. That's all there was to it. Now, if you have any questions, write them below where I'm going to add this in the classroom. So I look forward to seeing you soon online. Till then, keep smiling. Bye for now.